Hey, good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Drive Marketing. Corey and I don't know if you'd say it's our pleasure, Corey, but it'll be the pleasure by the end of the evening to get to visit with the crew, Boyert-Core and Bloomberg Cattle on their upcoming SC online sale, the Boyert-Core Bloomberg Cattle Bred sale to be held February 7th on SC. Guys, welcome aboard.
December 7th.
December.
Hey,
We're
we're already off to a bad start here.
Hey, that's all right. I'm just making sure you can hear me. So
Yeah.
making sure. Yeah, now we're good. Now we are good. Hey, thanks for being on the Drive Marketing tonight. So real quick, for those that don't know you, fill us in. Tell us who you are. Tell us how this thing started, and we'll get to driving.
Jake, you want to touch base? You want me to go first?
Go ahead, Jared.
I'm Jared Boyert, and my brothers and I, and then also my in-laws, Mark and Deb Core, my two brothers, Jake and Clayton. We run cows in Iowa and Ohio at both operations. We have most of our sales, everything kind of comes to Iowa. And we started doing show heifer sales, and I think ultimately our biggest goal was to be able to kind of market some cows and bred heifers and things like that. And I think over the years, and this is probably the neat thing about this sale, and I think Jake can kind of say the same thing, is just, it takes so long to get started, to have some of these cows to where you can get them in production. They have some years under their belt to kind of produce and generate for themselves. And then to be able to where they still have some life left in them, and you can take them and sell them and let other people have the opportunity to capitalize on some of the stuff that you've been doing. And I think that's probably the neat thing about this sale. And I think that was our ultimate goal, was to be able to incorporate some donor cows in there that can still work, that can still make things. I mean, I know with Jake too and ours, some of those cows, I mean, they were some high seller stuff on our fall sales, so it's a neat that's why I think the biggest thing we wanted to do, when we first started, all we had was bred heifers. And as we probably both grown operations wise, number wise, we're able to put some of those cows in there that I think can work for other people as well too. So.
Right. Jake, what about you? I mean, it's obvious. We're sitting here in just my little opinion here, we're sitting here with two industry leaders, young industry leaders, as far as being progressive and aggressive with what you're doing within your programs. Jake, what is it that made you want to have this sale with the Boyert-Core crew?
Jared was my coach at Blackhawk East, and then just going through classes and workouts and stuff like that, and just talking with him and discussing with him, discuss a little bit. No, but on a serious note, we always seen livestock pretty similar. We still kept a great relationship after, we went our separate ways. I went to senior college, and he was still coaching there at Blackhawk. I still always called him and for advice and about anything, rather with regards to livestock or just life in general. So we kind of a really good bond within that regard. And not only that, also Mark and Deb Core and both their daughters. Much respect to all of them. Their kids were very successful showing. Mark and Deb are very successful cattle people as well, and respected within the industry. So I thought, what not to, have a bred sale and a cattle relationship and a cattle friendship with the operation such as that.
Right. Gotcha. So, I know that you guys hit on this when you first got started. There was just some bred heifers, and now you've been established long enough that we've got to add cows to the deal. But hey, there's already been success come out of this deal. I mean, there's got to be a few success stories already, isn't there?
Yeah, it's actually been very humbling. I think both sides of the spectrum, a lot of Jared's stuff and myself, we've sold some cattle that have done really good for other operations, such as Conrad and Conley's have a bull lead the way. That was actually a direct result of a bred heifer that was carrying that bull when we sold him, or when we sold that bred. Jared sold a cow. Her name was Bad Girl, purebred semi. That he sold a fall heifer this year for around 20 some in his fall born sale. Jeremy Held and Art Milliken and H&M Show Cattle have kind of based a lot of their cow based on some of the bred cattle they bought from us that ended up being donor kind of cattle for them, and circled their operation towards that. And there's been numerous others as well, but for time's sake, we'll just keep rolling on.
Like that. Gotcha. So let's talk about cow families. Anybody that follows you two on social media, I got to bring this up. I don't know that I've ever seen a true picture of Tammy, but there is some sure needling goes on back and forth about Tammy. And so I had to kind of clear the air a little bit there. That cow has done you guys a phenomenal job, Jared. And I don't know if there's got to be some Tammy influence within this cell somewhere, but I just had to clear the air that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
I think I get people all the time. Like we do that stuff back and forth. I always find some dairy veal calf and I'd be like, man, my Berwick looks good, and send it to Jake. And people all the time, they're like, do you guys hate each other? I thought you guys were friends. You guys just, I'm like, no, it's all fun. If you can't laugh at that kind of stuff, I mean, you got to have fun doing it. So
I guarantee you're right. But hey, let's talk about some influential cow families that the sale is going to reflect.
I mean, I think a lot of it too, and there's a couple, like you touched base. I mean, there's two breds out of that cow that are on our bred sale. I honestly, too, some of the Charolais donor cows that we're selling, one in particular we own with Jake. I mean, those cows have all raised division winners at some national shows. The Molly cow, the Brie cow. I mean, I think that part of it's pretty good. My in-laws, the cow that they had that was supreme at Kansas City and Louisville. There's a couple breds that are out of that cow as well. So, I mean, a lot of the cows, and sometimes, they might be out of some things that we try just to do different to try to outcross some things or something like that. I know there's some that like 419 influence. There's a Turning Point Primo 419 on there, and so, some of those matings are kind of neat because maybe a generation or two generations back, there's probably a cow in there that's probably raised something or was a national champion or something like that. And I know a lot of Jake's breds too, like that Lot 2 Angus of his, I mean, it's kind of the same way. I mean, there's some neat stuff. And he can tell you more. I mean, there's a semi-donor cow on there that he has that, mother was awesome and she was awesome and raised some nice stuff too. So I think that's important to Jake and I and his family and our family with both operations that, having a good cow family behind it is probably more meaningful to us than anything. And then just trying to stack pedigrees in there.
Oh, there you go. I don't know about you, Corey, but just from getting to look through these things before we started, I'm pretty pumped about getting to go through them with these guys.
Oh, boy. Yeah. We're just going to have enough time to go through a few of them, but, boy, there looks like a lot of them that need talked about.
We'll roll through them, CT.
Yeah. I was actually in Grand Island, Nebraska when this Lot 1 female got slapped on the back by Mr. Rayfield there at the Limousine Junior Nationals. This one comes bred. Charles Linhart bred her, didn't he, Jared?
He did. Yep. We bought her that year at Hoag's, showed her. She won Junior Nationals, Illinois Beef Expo, and was champion of reserve at Louisville and American Royal that fall. And truthfully, I just, we have multiple breeds that we try to do. She's the only Lemmy cow that I have. And it's just, honestly, it's a little tough. And honestly, I think the biggest reason I didn't want to give her all away because I really probably haven't given her the opportunity. I mean, this is the first time she's ever been bred to a higher percentage limousine bull. She's bred to Crown Royal this year. She's due at the end of January. But I flushed her to a few things, never Lemmy, because I don't know enough about the breed. And so we're going to offer half of her and kind of hoping like a partner comes in, can kind of help us with some of that. I know there's some new bulls that I'd like to try her to. I haven't dove into it quite yet. So she's honestly one of the most impressive cows we got. I mean, she is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And we pictured them this summer when they had calves on them. Just so, I mean, some of our cows that we knew, I mean, this is something that wasn't like, she's bred late or this or that, let's just throw them on the sale. I mean, we knew this summer when we were going to kind of put them on. And I mean, we tried to get it so you could kind of see some of their udders on some of them cows and stuff when they're in production.
Right. It looks like she's got a high quality udder set to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You bet. Jake, tell us about, I know you like a good Angus female. You brought a tradition of 24 back out of a first class cow.
Yeah, first class 502. A cow that just be a first calf heifer. She had a pretty impressive, unique individual in regards to different breeding versatility of. If you want to do your main Angus, if you want to do your limb flex, your percent Simmentals, still like have some Angus with probably a shot more power and a shot more mass, or if you're a club calf influence that can still add some hair and still add some function and some body and some unique look and balance. I think she can work in a lot of different scenarios. She did have a really nice first calf. She had a bull calf, a Follow Me, that was very impressive and just in my bull development lot. And people ask kind of, what some of them cows have had. And that bull I was kind of expecting to be pretty, probably sell for a decent amount of money. And one morning when you go out to feed him, he's laying there off-centered on the hay bale pile. And just, so just a little bad luck involved. But that's probably not why we're selling her. People ask me why we are, offering some of these better kind of cows between like myself and Jared. And it's pretty much just to keep our good graces and to keep our sale going as positive and the upright as we can.
You bet.
So that's why lot 2 is being offered.
There you go. Pretty high quality one there, Corey.
Got the top notch running gear on her.
Yeah, you betcha. Hey, Jared, what about this lot 3? It's a key. It's a right direction Jalen.
Yep.
What we got going here?
Well, that one, you got the Charolais up, but that's all right. I think they got switched, but that's no big deal.
Oh, this would be okay. Yeah, it is. This is a Wrangler redneck daughter. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, okay. That's the first Charolais that I bought. She's lot 5. That's the first Charolais that I bought, and we bought her from Thomas, and she be the mother of Arthur's heifer that was reserved at Junior Nationals and then won Louisville. We also had the Schwecke family showed one that won her division a couple times. There's been a lot of those cattle. I've actually flushed that cow quite a bit. We sold one on our sale this year. She was a redemption. That was the first time I did her that way, just to try to get something outcrossed a little bit. That heifer brought 18, and she actually went down. She's down in Oklahoma there, but she was, neat animal. One of the ones like you'd like to keep for a cow because she was kind of getting a little away from some of our outsider stuff. But, you got to kind of pay the bills and stuff. But that cow's been real consistent. And honestly, I had her natural calf was a heifer this year. and I had a lot of ETs out of her, and I kept back 4 daughters, and I decided that I was going to kind of sell the cow and then kind of keep some of those daughters for production.
Gotcha. I'll be dang. Yeah, that that right there just proves what you guys are trying to do when you can sell one that, obviously is that high quality, that's that age, and you're talking about her being far enough away from some of the most popular lines of Charolais cattle in the business, and you're going to offer her up for someone else. So
Yep.
that's exciting.
Here's another one of them Charolais donors. When you dove into that Charolais deal, you went up there to Thomas's and searched through them cows hardcore, and this one to come out of that. That's this one to come out of that program, isn't it? That lot 5.
Yeah. That majority of our cows came from up there. I mean, when they had that dispersal sale, right, wrong, or indifferent, we just kind of studied some of the cows that we liked, and we tried to buy some of them younger donor cows stuff, and that sale, that was, for me, that was probably one of the most impressive sales to go to, just as far as to see that many kind of cattle of any breed, really. And there's just a lot of stuff that came out of that was pretty solid, and so it was good for us. That's kind of really, honestly, we decided we were going to kind of do some Charolais. We went up there. I think we bought like 12, 15 cows that day, and that's kind of where we got our start at. Yeah.
You bet. Yeah. That lot 5 was a Wrangler back out of a redneck. Bred. Yep. You bet. Then lot 8, this is one of Jake's. He likes them Scimitals, Revival daughter back out of the Steel Force.
Yeah, it's actually one that my grandparents raised. Corey would know them very well. David and Dee Dee Ray. Goes back to some older school genetics. The cow's a Steel Force Black Bear, which my grandfather always hit us on the head with cow function, structure, and flexibility, and still having a balanced look to them. Kind of describes lot 5. Probably a shot moderate, but big boned and really wide built, round ribbed, and pretty impressive animal for a bred heifer. I think has a lot of versatility in her breeding decisions.
Yeah.
Right up early to Lover Boy.
Lover Boy. Yeah, that it is. You bet. Hey,
yeah,
look at that
prefix, baby. Look at that prefix.
There you go. Hey, that Lover Boy, he has done a really good job on those on that first round, though.
Absolutely. Thank you, John Sullivan.
Yep, there you go. Gotcha. Hey, Jared, this lot 11. You're swinging a little half-blood Scimital action yourself here with a broker Tammy.
You bet. Yeah, that for us, that's probably one of the nicest breds I think we put on here. Terrible in the picture pen, would not stop ever once. So it was a little tougher to get her pictured and videoed. She just, not that she was dumb, she just kind of kept walking the whole time and just would not stop for anything. But she was actually showed one time, and then we never took her out again. But stout bone, real good made, good structured. I like this one quite a bit. And she's bred actually to Legendary, a bull that we own with Jake and his family. And we've actually bred quite a few of our heifers to that bull in the past and got along real good. I know we've had some other breds that we've gone back and grabbed some of those Legendaries the first time and sold some of those, and they sold pretty well for us. So it'd be a result, kind of a 3/4 semi calves.
Right. What is that Legendary bull?
He's a Harker's Icon. Do it right, Jared?
There you go.
I'm drawing a blank on the bottom side of this pedigree too.
Yeah, Right to Love goes back to some Rock and Pede, Shannon Worm Phillips' better cow families.
There you go. Okay, good deal.
And we're going to wind up on this deal with a set of embryos. Lot 40 eggs right from the heart.
Pregnancy.
Pregnancies. Yeah. Yep. Pregnancies. My fault. Right out of the heart of the Bloomberg herd. The daughter.
I'm buying this one. You don't need to talk anymore. I'm gonna buy this one. We're good. Next.
Next, he said. Wow, what? And Jake, what's the skinny on this thing?
This would be a cow that Dave Geyer's daughter, both of his daughters and his wife. I don't even know why I said his name first. They take the most credit for. I guess he picked her out, but they did all the work. A heifer that won our Illinois Beef Expo, was supreme at our state fair, won junior nationals, and was also champion semi in Louisville junior and open show. Probably one of the better animals we've had the privilege to raise. Goes back to she's a Relentless out of Steel Magnolia. Actually, a cow that Corey Thompson and back when he was working there in Mitchell, he owned that cow with us. Ended up when he dispersed there, Eric Walker and Willow Springs ended up purchasing that cow and the rest of his cows. So, so Corey originally, we can give him credit and tip his hat because he's the one, him and my brother kind of found and purchased her mother. So I definitely have to give credit where credit is due. And there's a sexed heifer pregnancy due January 7th to broker.
Okay. To broker.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
I bet there'll be somebody bidding against you on that, Jared.
Her very first heifer calf. We only had one of them last year, ET wise. Her very first heifer was a bankroll we sold for $60,000 that went to Dunlap, America.
There you go. Wow.
Okay.
Awesome. My goodness.
But boys, we appreciate it. We thank you very much. CT, always a pleasure in the Hereford world.
Hey, so talk to us about this sale. I mean, it's obviously coming up here fast, and I mean it's just in a couple of more days on SC. But when this thing's done, what about trucking? I mean, you guys, and obviously the cattle are not together; they're in two different locations. Is that right?
Yep. Jake's are at his place. Ours are here in Iowa. And I mean, I got a trailer. Eventually, I'll go back to Ohio for Christmas, so I'll have a trailer going east. And, for the most part, we've been the last couple of years, it seems like it's been pretty, between Nick Goings and even Dick Coleman has hauled some stuff for us too. And so a couple of them guys we've got to know pretty well over the last couple of years. It makes it a lot less stressful for us because, once those guys pick them up, they're going to get handled right. There's plenty of options between Jake and I. Just traveling ourselves, and we got to meet somebody. We can meet somebody too, whatever. So,
right, good deal. Have you, Jared? Is there any chance at all that like the person who maybe buys the most or is there any incentive coming from Vermeer on like a new drivable round baler or like potentially? Like a ride in a NASCAR. Is there? You guys got some big stuff going on around there.
I know.
I can use a NASCAR ride or a round beat 'em. So.
I'll talk to Mark on that. I think he's doing some meeting stuff this week. He'll probably bring that up. Have him bring that up in the meetings.
Yeah, see if you can
see if we can get worked out, get a sponsorship going.
Yeah, just some incentive. Like a guy needs incentive to go try to buy that high quality of bred heifer.
Yeah.
Guys,
I will tell you, I'm not very good at. I can do simple stuff in terms of tractor driving, that kind of things, but their new continuous round baler. I was like, all right, I got to drive this thing. So I always kind of mess around when they bring it out. And I'm dumb at that stuff and I can drive it. And that thing is sweet. It's kind of neat to drive it. Yeah.
It is. It's almost as good as watching you two on social media going back and forth about your herd bulls and donor cows. So,
Yeah, I know. Just trashing them.
Yeah, exactly. Hey guys, I got to tell you, thanks number one for choosing to use Drive Marketing. Jake probably didn't have much choice, but Jared, you did, and I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you guys being on here with us tonight, and best of luck with your upcoming sale. So.
No, I think it's awesome. I do. It's a neat thing. Paige is just kind of explaining it to me, and I think it's definitely going to be pretty cool for future people to utilize it and stuff. So I appreciate what you guys are doing as well. So.
Right. Well, hey, we appreciate it. You guys have a good evening, and good luck there on the 7th.
Thank you very much.
You betcha.
Thanks,
Take care.
guys.